For those who don't know them already, I'll try to introduce the members of the traveling party. To my right is Ed Bertram, who is the 4th District Commander. Over here to my left is John Bogart, who is Detachment Commander for the Sons of the American Legion. Sitting next to him is #1 lady in the state of New York, Linda Bozeman Raymond, who is the Auxiliary President for the Department of New York. Sitting right here is Otto F. Metzler, Vice Chairman for the Department of New York. And then our main guest with us is the #1 Legionnaire in the state of New York, the Department of New York Commander, Fang A. Wong. You got a speaker.
Speaker.
Our fearless leader speaker.
Well, good morning. Sorry that we are a little bit late. I'm looking forward to this visit. Not that I know a whole lot about this city, being that this is the end of the 11 County 4th District tour. And after this, we go down to 3rd District. When I first started the tour, I had no expectation, I have no idea what to look forward to, being that I'm from New York City. So I have my city mentality, expect to see buildings and traffic lights and crowded streets and all that. And lo and behold, we started 2 weeks ago, not the same. So I quickly learned it's kind of like a culture shock in such a drastic 180-degree change. But I enjoy visit each and every one of the counties so far, and I expect no less from Clinton County, because within the 4th District is the biggest area within our department, and among your 11 counties, you carry a lot of tradition in different sectors, and you also show me a lot of good things that are going on up here that I could probably borrow and model for the other areas. There are problems, yes, we know it, and I am sure that the local leaderships recognize it. We have talked about it, and hopefully together down the road we will work up with some solution that will better and improve the Legion as a whole, and in turn we could serve our community, our nation better. Being veterans, I can count on you. I know that's why you're all here, because you're delicate, and together I'm sure that we will do a good job, and hopefully at the end of the year we can look back and say, boy, did we have fun. And that's the bottom line. Thank you.
Another young lady who's with the traveling party, who's a little bashful. We'll bring her up front here. Mary Gear, our own Clinton County auxiliary member, who is now District 4 President. Mary. We'll open it up to questions. If you gentlemen have any questions for anybody, I'm sure they'll be more than glad to answer them.
Let's hear Madam President.
Madam President, you have to
Why? Well, thank you very much for the invitation to be here in Clinton County in the fabulous 4th District. I have to tell you, this is the first of our tour. As the commander stated, we've been spoiled properly by the 4th District, and we thank you for everything. We know we're going to have a great day again today and a wonderful night. Truly the heart of our organization is the members, and truly the spectacular, fabulous 4th has come true to its word. Whenever anyone asked where I was starting my conference tour, I told them the 4th. They said that's the place to be. They're going to treat you right. So now that we're spoiled, now that you've trained us, you're sending us on to more counties and many more counties, and we truly appreciate the friendship, the camaraderie, all the courtesies were extended, and the new friendships that were formed will never be forgotten. And it's really nice to know that we have family all across the state. Thank you so much.
What is the reason for the tour? Just to mingle with the host, or to find out what's going on and what the needs are?
I'll take that.
Okay.
The purpose of the tour is mostly we get leaders, or each year we change leadership. The commander, the madam president, and the detachment commander are all basically new, and they are from various parts of the state. So this is an opportunity for people from different parts to get to understand the local issues, local situations, and then try to work out a solution to better the Legion as a whole. I believe I'm from the south, and Linda here is from the middle part of the state, and John is from the western part, and I think Otto is from the middle part. So it brings us together because we are the team, we are the leader for this year to direct Legion business, and it's important that we understand how everybody else is doing, the kind of problem that they're facing, and also to have a chance to communicate and pick up the good points, and hopefully in turn we'll share it with everybody else, and as a whole we could move on to a better organization at the end. And like I say, this is truly an experience educational wise, and also get to know the people and build up some friendship and some rapport so that we could work in the future. Now I just associate names with faces, programs with what's really going on at the local level. Before that, we heard about it, we see reports and we read things, but it's not the same until you're actually on the ground and see what's going on and talk to folks that are actually doing the work instead of just reading.
I think finding out what members and units need from their leaders, finding out what's going on in the communities, finding out how we can adapt our programs to meet the needs of the current veterans that are there and the current community programs. So it gives us a chance to be able to modify and change our programs if necessary to meet the needs of today's American Legion family.
I think that's the most thing that it is to bring the American Legion family together from the north, south, east, and west of the state of New York. And we have been doing that.
For the benefit of the people, for the news media, could you three department officials reiterate your programs and what you expect for goals from the whole department, just briefly for the news media?
When you say the program, were you referring to our projects?
Your
or
goals, your goals and some of the things you want for the department.
Obviously, membership is the most important thing with any organization. And in membership, we were looking for new bloods. We're looking for young veterans that are interested in what we're doing, that agree to our goal. And with membership, we also want to make sure that we have programs that will interest the older veterans, the younger veterans, and the in-between, so that they will feel that they are serving a productive purpose within their community and within our organization. The biggest project this year I'll be pushing across the board is the September 11 Scholarship Memorial Fund, set up by our national organization after what happened last September. The idea behind this concept is the fact that we lost roughly 3,000 lives during the attack. And out of those 3,000 lives, we have many active duty military personnel that was lost. And then afterward, with the war declared by our commander-in-chief with terrorism, we sent a lot more troops overseas, and also we called a lot of reserve and National Guard units to protect our airports and various strategic locations. We wound up losing more casualties because of those actions. And as a result of that, now we have a lot of single-parent family where young children lost their father or their mother because of those active duty casualties. The government does not provide enough resource to make sure those children have a proper education when it's time for them to go to college. And this is where national organization, the American Legion as a whole come in. We see that as one of our major principle, our major cardinal principle, to make sure that young children do get a proper education. That's why they established this fund. The goal is to obtain or raise $20 million and put it in the trust. And each year, we will take the interest from the trust, set up scholarships for those active duty, casualty family members, the children, to go to school. Now, how much we could afford and how many scholarship is based on how much we could obtain through donations and various fundraising effort. But that will come, as soon as we get this thing rolling. And that's why my project is I want to push it. I want to make sure that everybody, all the memberships within the great state of New York understand that it's important. That's what we're doing, spending our whole life, work toward supporting our foreign comrades, supporting their families. And this is our chances to show our appreciation for their parents' sacrifice, so that we make sure that they know they will have the chance to get the education and have a better future than otherwise. So that's one of my main projects. The other thing is we in the department, we like to create the American Legion College. The concept is to teach our memberships across the board, uniformly, what American Legion is all about. We want to teach them about how to operate the post, how to run meetings, how to do certain things within the post operation. We want to teach them how to be a program manager. We want to show them how to coordinate, recruit, organize, communicate with others that are involved with all programs within American Legion. Things such like American Legion Baseball, Boy Scout, Boy State, Oratorical, Junior Shooting programs, and many other community type of programs. We want them to be a program manager. We want them to be able to go out there and do a credible job as a representative of the American Legion. So the third thing we want to add on in this particular college is the leadership. We want our membership, our Legionnaires, to be a leader within their community, within their post. So therefore, we must give them the tools so that they recognize what's a leader, what's requirement to be a leader, the different type of leadership skill, different type of leadership tactic, how to deal with people. So we want to go. We want to be able to group all these three things, major grouping together, and able to offer to all our members that we are willing to learn and to do the work. And we try to accomplish all that over a weekend. Normally it's majority of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So those are my two major goals or programs, so to speak, for this year. I'm relieved that the Madam President have something else to add on that.
Well, of course, we always work on membership together as a Legion family. We hope that when one of our groups recruits a member, that they recruit for everyone. Once again, it's an American Legion family, and we want to make our entire family strong. Two of my goals this year, obviously, are to promote membership, and to review our programs and committees and make sure they're as strong and as vital as they need to be in our communities today. We set up programs many years ago, and unless we adapt these programs to meet the needs of current veterans, we're losing our focus. So we need to look at the committees, make sure they work for the communities that they are offered in, and like I said, just remain strong and vital and make sure people want to be involved in these things. My department president's project this year is 2 children's burn camps. I'm a volunteer firefighter and an EMT in a little town of Woodstock, New York, that you might have heard of. I've had the occasion to go to some rescue squad calls and see some of the severe effects of burn injuries on children. So I've chosen 2 burn camps that are offered, one by the New York City Firefighters Burn Foundation Association, and the other by the Strong Memorial Hospital run through the Rochester University Burn Unit. And these are 2 summer camps for kids with burn injuries just to have a chance to be a kid, to be in summer camp and enjoy themselves, to have no criticism, no staring or poking of fun, and just a place for a kid to be a kid. There's nurses, counselors, doctors, and even firefighters there to help them through this trauma that they've been through. So I take this to my heart, and I hope the American Legion family does also. John?
The Sons of the American Legion are a program of the American Legion, and my program this year, the Commander's Project, is the same as the American Legion, for the scholarship fund for the dependent children of those who lost their lives after 9/11. Another program is, as already been mentioned, is membership. We had an increase last year of over 6%. We're now at 21,402 at convention. And I've asked the membership of all squadrons that every member sign up one new member to help increase our number so we can further do more within the community, in the Legion family, to help children and youth, to help the veterans, and not only on a state level, but on a national level as well. The Sons are a helping hand to both the Legion and the auxiliary in the Legion family.
Any other question?
I understand your, Mr. Moore, your post was near the tree stars. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Can you explain a little bit about what happened on September 11th and how your post helped out?
My post is actually located right on the red zone boundary. Canal Street is the line, and we're on the northern side of Canal Street, and then the opposite southern side is the red zone. That's the beginning of the red zone. Unfortunately, the day that happened, I was at work, and to be honest, I didn't realize what happened. I was involved with a project, and at that time, I didn't even notice that anything occurred or happened until like 11 o'clock until it was over. And I was at the New Jersey side at that time. I tried to call the post right away, and couldn't get any answer because all the phone systems been pretty much knocked down or turned off, even the cell phones. So it was like almost a day before I established contact with my post, and also at the same time, the tunnel, the bridge are all blocked out, you can't go in. So it was like, I believe it was Friday, I finally have a chance to go in, and I have to kind of go around and about instead of going right to Holland Tunnel, how I normally go. I have to go up town and then come on back down, and for the first time, that was the first time that I get the chance to see what happened. I did have a chance to talk to the folks, some of the folks before that. They said everything's okay. The post for us, they know, we didn't suffer any casualty. At that time, we didn't know of any families of our members have suffered any losses or whatever. They told me that they really know not much of a damage to the post other than the window was kind of like impacted a little bit. I think we got 2 cracked windows out of it. The posts remain open, and people go up there and just nothing to do at that point. Right? Everything's in chaos. I got out there Friday. I never seen so many police officers and state troopers and sheriff deputies in my life in New York City. I mean, every block's all blocked off, and vehicles, and there's all kind of restriction put on. Made it down and realized there's not a whole lot we could do because the medical folks are busy doing what they're doing, and the rescue folks are doing what they're doing. We're not allowed to go down to the site anyway. It's not until the following week where the communities start opening up. They start losing up the control, and then we step in to help the community center. There's the Chinatown's right there. And the Chinese Community Center opened up their building, allowing all the rescue or the relief agency to come in and open up stations, set up office to to provide assistance to folks in the general area. So a lot of our members join in as a volunteer, basically as interpreter, being that in the immediate area, Chinatown, most of the residents down there are not fluent in, let's say, English. And so we jump in as an interpreter, and some of them work with the, I believe they work with the emergency agency, the FEMA, I believe that's how we call it. And then later, Department of Labor come in, and some of the other agencies come in. And we have to staff them with whatever member that we have available. The same token, same time, we're receiving calls from across the state. We receive calls as far as Washington State, basically from Legion Post, that have started collecting stuff, canned foods and materials that they want to send to people. And because of the response from throughout the country, all the normal channels, the Red Cross and the city relief agencies were basically overloaded with materials. And so they stopped accepting things. And that's when the Post started calling us, being that they realized that we were the closest one, and they want to send this material to us. After realizing what they had gone through, we agreed that yes, we will accept them. So that's why we started receiving packaged mail. I got one phone call from Sons of Legion Detachment in Ohio, and they had collected a truckload of material, water, medical supplies and stuff, and they couldn't find anybody to take it. So they want to see if we will take on the load. And I said, yeah, sure, we just have to accept it. I said, at this point, I don't know what we're going to do with it, because no one else is really taking anything at this point. And they said, that's okay, we collected it, we would like to turn it over to somebody. So they drove all night that night, and they came to the city, and we met them, I guess, so 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning to offload their thing. And then they turned around and went back to Ohio. I mean, those are the kind of things that we see get involved. The way we look back, oh yeah, we also received a truckload of teddy bears from Canada. A little girl, I guess she was 6 years old, in kindergarten. She saw what happened on TV, and she asked her mom, what can I do? And then she wanted to know if she could send a teddy bear down to the firemen and the rescue worker and the victim. And the mom said, sure. But then they took it one step further. They went back to the school and talked about it. And next thing you know, they run up with 2,000 teddy bears. So they start boxing them together. And they work it out with a trucking company up there. They're willing to deliver to New York City. But then the question is where? And then again, we somehow, they got our number. They start calling me, and it took us a couple of days, and then we make the arrangement. They show up and they deliver a couple hundred boxes of teddy bears. It took us a while to find a home for those teddy bears and some of the other relief equipment, the donation material, because of the fact that the outpour is such that most of your standard relief agency had already filled up to their max with mountains of stuff. And so they just blanketly say, no, we don't want to take any more. They will accept monetary donations. So we run up searching through the neighborhoods, and we go to senior citizens, some other daycare centers and hospitals, and see what they need, what can we offer them. And that's how we eventually distribute the material. I try to explain to the folks that send us the material that it might not go directly to the victim's family, it may not go directly to let's say, the police department or fire department, because of the fact that they already have so much that we will try to distribute it the best we could to the people who need it, and they agree. So that's how we work that. The effort kind of go on for a couple months, especially with the one involved with the community center. Because after the 9/11, after the first one, when things start getting back to normal, that's where a lot of the family that were impacted in the surrounding areas realized that they need help. That's when the business realized that, you know, they're still being blocked, because the red zone was in effect for a month after what happened. And nobody was allowed to go in to deliver things. And obviously, the areas depend heavily on tourism. People can't go there. Yeah, people want to go down there. They just everybody want to go to see the ground zero, and you know you can't go to ground zero. But they are not coming to the area to spend money. You know, their purpose is to go down there and see it. When they realize they can't, plus there's with the restriction, not too many wanted to really go in. So business was hurting pretty bad, and that's where a lot of help is required, and the government do, you know, open up all kind of agencies down there to take application on it. And our folks, our membership stay active to help the local merchants and the neighborhood folks to put in their applications and then try to get as much relief as, you know, they can to try to revitalize the area. And right now we're still working with that. It's far from the end.
I think that about concludes it, because we're on a pretty tight time schedule, so unless anybody has any real heavy questions, we'll end it here. Jeff? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm a World War II veteran and commander of Post 912 at Rouse's Point. The Veterans Association, they are cutting back on services drastically. And they're not allowing new members to come in for service. What action what is the American Legion, what stand is the American Legion taking at this time?
When you say a Veterans Association, I assume you're talking about the Department of Veterans.
Commander, if I can help you on that a little bit. I think you're talking about the Veterans Health Care. Right now, a year ago, Principi said that we wouldn't sign up any more Category C Priority 7 because we were $17 million in arrears. But Dr. Melsfar said, no, we're going to keep signing up veterans as long as we have openings. So what the Legion is doing, the Legion is lobbying to make sure that no veteran is denied health care. We're keeping that avenue open. And I'm speaking that as a Veteran Service Agency director here in Clinton County. That's the word that has come down through the American Legion. We are fighting. We are going to keep that channel open as long as we can. But a lot of it depends upon money that's allocated from Congress to the Department of Veterans Affairs. And like Commander said, when we go to a war, there's nothing in the budget for war, so where do they cut? These lesser programs, Veterans Affairs programs is one of them, is like education is.
Just want to add one thing. Yeah, it's right. What they're trying to do now, remember a couple years ago, the VA they actively go out and try to sign people. They were even willing to come to your post with cameras so that they could sign you up, give you your ID cards right away. What they're trying to do now, they stop doing that. But they're not stopping any new applicants or new veterans that want to sign up. They're just not encouraging. They're not out there pushing. They're not out there looking for new members. But if you go to the VA and you want to sign up, they will not turn you down. It's just part of their budget cutting or budget. It's the concern of their budget that they want to slow down. But we will not allow them to close the door. So as such, they are not actively seeking new veterans registration, but yet if you go, they cannot turn you down. That's the latest I heard. And of course, we will continue work on that
They're not closing the door, but they're no longer issuing eye care, hearing aids, and other health care.
They have a direct relationship with their budget. And the budget is what we're fighting for now. As a matter of fact, I believe the National Commander, when he went on testify, we proposed that they have a I believe it was a $23.1 billion budget for the VA. Now, whether or not we get that, that's a different story. And the other thing we're pushing for is for mandatory funding for the VA instead of, each year you have to budget for the VA. Well, we're trying to get Congress, in fact, there's 2 bills pending right now that will grant the Department of VA the mandatory funding. If we could get that through, that means each year the VA will know in advance that they have so much, and they could plan the growth that they want to do or how they want to, slice the pie. The kind of thing that you're talking about is the reaction of the cuts that they're getting, because they don't know from year to year their funding. They have to wait till Congress approves their budget. But if we could get the mandatory budget in, then they know, they have a good idea, this is what we're going to get, and they could plan better. And also, depending on the location of the region of the country, they've been doing a lot of study based on the concentration of the veterans. They may shift money from here to here to here, and as such, certain areas may suffer because of the shift of the population, and therefore they're getting less money, and therefore they're shutting down some of their normal service. But we're constantly looking at those situations. We do believe that veterans are veterans regardless where you live. We should be getting the same treatment regardless where you happen to reside. But until they have a steady budget, until they know exactly where the money comes from year to year, I can understand from the VA's part that they have to shift it to cover what they consider as the more important area. Not that we are less important, it's just that they're more over there, so therefore they get a bigger cut of the budget, and they're getting a bigger part of the resource, so to speak. I don't know if that helped you, but that's what's happening now that I know of.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess we're going to have to cut it now because I'm getting the signal from back there. We're running a little bit behind, and we got to move out. So I thank the news media for coming here.